The DOJ says nearly 1,000 arrests have been made since the Memphis Safe Task Force arrived last month.
America, we've got some incredible news out of Memphis that the mainstream media doesn't want you to hear about. The Memphis Safe Task Force, a joint operation between federal agents, state troopers, and the National Guard, just delivered results that'll blow your mind. We're talking about nearly 1,000 arrests in just 2.5 weeks, 44 missing children rescued, and over 4,100 traffic citations issued. But here's what's really shocking. Governor Bill Lee just announced this operation will never end. What is up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. This is exactly what happens when you have real leadership that's willing to take action instead of making excuses. While other Democrat-run cities are defunding police and watching crime spiral out of control, Tennessee is showing America how it's done. Let me break down these incredible numbers for you because this is what real law enforcement looks like. In just 2.5 weeks, this multi-agency task force has made 978 arrests, but it's just not about quantity, it's about the quality of these arrests that matter.
The DOJ says so far they made 978 arrests and seized 197 firearms. Among those arrested, 8 for homicide, 43 for sex crimes, and 101 for narcotics. There were also 181 ICE arrests and 392 people taken into custody with outstanding warrants.
Think about this: 8 homicide arrests, 43 violent crime arrests, 101 narcotics arrests, and here's the kicker: 181 ICE arrests. That means they're not just going after American criminals, they're also removing illegal immigrants who are committing crimes in our communities. But wait, it gets better. They've seized 197 illegal firearms and arrested 392 people with outstanding warrants. Memphis had over 10,000 felony warrants outstanding, including 30 individuals who committed homicides. This task force is systematically cleaning house. Clean up on aisle 4.
On top of all of the arrests he mentioned, he also said that the task force has seized nearly 200 illegal firearms, and in the same effort have also what he called located at least 44 missing children.
And here's something that should make every parent in America proud. They've rescued 44 missing children. These aren't just statistics, folks. These are kids who were vulnerable to trafficking, exploitation, and even worse. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigations explains that most of these are runaways who often get pulled into criminal activity once they're on the streets. Now, some people might be asking, Tyson, why are they focusing so much on traffic stops? Well, let me explain the genius behind this strategy. Governor Bill Lee laid it out perfectly. You start by getting control of the streets.
And so the very first thing to do is to get the streets under control. That means traffic stops. That means stopping people that are speeding, stopping people that are not licensed, that don't have correct licenses on their cars because they may be stolen vehicles.
This isn't just about writing tickets, America. This is about intelligence gathering and crime prevention. When you stop someone from speeding or driving without a license, you just might discover they're driving a stolen vehicle. You might find that they have outstanding warrants. You might uncover drugs or illegal weapons. The task force has issued over 4,160 traffic citations, and many of these stops have led to significant arrests. They've also made 130 additional arrests for DUIs and DWIs and other offenses. This is proactive policing at its finest.
The governor says this is all part of a broader push to crack down on speeding, interstate shootings, drag racing, and shutdowns. A representative of Tennessee's Department of Safety and Homeland Security states that in Memphis, THP wants to reduce crashes, save lives, and assist local law enforcement by increasing visibility in high-crime areas.
This comprehensive approach is exactly what we need to see in every major city in America. Now, here's where things get interesting. The operation has been so successful that it's creating a new problem: jail capacity. The Shelby County Jail is designed for about 2,800 inmates, and they're now at 2,932.
So what we found by looking at every month of 2025 leading up to October, there's an average of about 70 bookings per day into the jail. And since October 1st, that number's north of 110. So when we first calculated it last week, it represented about a 57% increase. They have sustained that level of booking this week, it seems. So The jail is seeing approximately 60% more bookings.
That is what happens when you actually enforce law instead of practicing catch and release. But here's what I love about this. Mayor Paul Young isn't complaining about the arrests. He's working with other agencies to find solutions, including moving nonviolent offenders to other locations. This, my friends, is problem solving, not making excuses.
I think the surge that we're seeing right now, where you have 700 federal agents and 150 National Guard individuals, I think that we'll see that intensity for the next 30 days or so.
This is the kind of federal-state coordination we need to see everywhere. Now let's talk about something that should make every American proud, the rescue of the 44 missing children. This isn't getting nearly enough attention in mainstream media, and that tells you everything you need to know about their priorities.
The reporting number is 44. We know there are 45. One was literally being reported when the surge operations had stopped a vehicle, and that child was in this vehicle.
Did you catch that? They literally rescued a child during a routine traffic stop. This is why the traffic enforcement strategy is so brilliant. You never know what you're going to uncover. Brian Calley from the nonprofit Saving Lost Children explains the scope of this problem.
Right now, the estimated 300 to 400 missing in Tennessee, and those are the ones that are active missing right now. We've got somewhere between 70, 80 missing just in West Tennessee around Shelby County area.
He notes that 90% of missing children are runaways, usually escaping a difficult situation. He says that leads to trafficking, often by someone they know.
But once they're on the streets, they become vulnerable to trafficking and exploitation. This task force is literally saving lives. Now, what is the community saying about all this? Well, despite what the mainstream media might want you to believe, the response has been overwhelmingly positive.
As long as they're behaving ethically, like we hope they are, like the same way we hope that MPD's, working ethically.
Mayor Paul Young reports he's getting positive feedback from teachers and community members who feel like the streets are actually safer. Kids are saying they feel like they can go outside and play again. This is what real public safety looks like. But here's the most important part. Governor Bill Lee just announced that this operation may never end. Let me repeat that. This operation may never end.
We've just begun. We do know that this is going to last for months, and we have just begun. In fact, I will tell you that it will last forever, because what we believe will happen is the numbers of law enforcement agents from different agencies will change depending on the mission at the moment.
This is exactly the kind of long-term thinking we need. The governor understands that he can't just do this with a quick surge and go back to business as usual. You have to maintain pressure on criminal organizations and keep them off balance. What we're seeing in Memphis is a blueprint on how to actually fight crime in our cities. This isn't some theoretical policy debate. This is real-world results that are making communities safer.
To me, if I'm going to feel safe and comfortable for my family to be here, all right, I want to know that there's active work being done to take the bad guys out of the picture.
It is not that complicated, but it requires leadership with courage to actually enforce the law. Compare this to what we're seeing in cities like San Francisco, Portland, or even Chicago, where prosecutors refuse to prosecute, police are defunded, and criminals are released without bail. Memphis is showing everybody that there's a better way. America, the Memphis Safe Task Force operation proves something that we've been saying for years. When you actually enforce the law, crime goes down. When you arrest criminals instead of making excuses for them, communities become safer. When you rescue missing children instead of ignoring the problem, families are reunited. Nearly 1,000 arrests in 2.5 weeks, 44 missing children rescued, and over 4,100 traffic citations that led to the discovery of stolen vehicles, outstanding warrants, and illegal weapons. This is what happens when you have leaders who prioritize public safety over political correctness. Governor Bill Lee and the Memphis Safe Task Force are showing America what's possible when you combine federal resources, state leadership, and local cooperation. This should be the model for every American city. The choice is clear. You can have law and order like Memphis is implementing, or we can have chaos and crime we see in Democrat-run cities. The results speak for themselves. Let me know what you guys think about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.